They were competitive.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Commissioner Dennett, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Before we approve the agenda, item number 6, we're going to postpone for a week to give their foundation time to meet tonight and get back to us. Other than that, that's the only change that I'm aware of.
What was adjusted?
Motion by Weiss, second by Denner to approve the agenda as adjusted. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll open the meeting up for any public comments. Anyone wish to address the commission this morning on any topic that isn't on the agenda? In person, out there online, or on the phone? Seeing none, we will move on. First reading of ordinance 289.
Ordinance 289, an ordinance amending Title 4, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended, to rezone certain described properties filed by petitioner Donald Johnston, owners Donald and David Johnston, to go from Ag Preservation District to Mini Agriculture District.
All right, this is first reading. Is anyone here to speak to ordinance 289? If not, entertain a motion to approve first reading.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, Rachel Kipley, Fairgrounds Parks Manager, with a few items. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Great, you?
Good. Cold weather and warmer weather on the way anyway.
Kids got to sleep in a little bit this
They
morning.
did, yeah. Frederick doesn't have school at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Colder up there.
Yeah, that's right.
Got
warmer.
They got more snow? Yeah, they do.
Thank you.
Welcome. So notice is hereby given that sealed bids will be received at the chamber of the Brown County Board of Commissioners at the Brown County Courthouse Annex, 25 Market Street, Suite 1, Aberdeen, South Dakota, until the hour of 8:45 a.m. on February 18th, 2025, and at said time and place, all bids will be open publicly, read and considered by the Brown County Board of Commissioners for a project to build a 5,000 square foot small animal barn at the Brown County Fairgrounds. First one here is from Quest Construction. And Jared is here if we have questions on it. All right, we got a bid bond. All right, $145,300. And he opted to not do the sponsorship, so the total will be the $145,300.
Okay.
And as far as, so we imagine that there might be a great difference between projects because we did leave it very vague. So it could be a pole building, could be a steel structure. So I'm just gonna look here and see what Quest is doing. It looks like pole building, right, Jared? Do you wanna talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, so what I included in there is just a little scope of work, and essentially the way that we would construct it would be laminated poles 8 foot on center, with trusses 8 foot on center, 2x4 purlins, stood on edge, 2x6 girts. It's pretty standard. It's the most cost-effective building that you can get. I would say, yeah, the most cost-effective. We do a house wrap around the walls, and then I do a drip X under the roof just in case they were to condensate. That helps alleviate that. It's set up for, I mean, a good building for cold storage. You could insulate it later, spray foam it if you wanted to, but that is kind of the bare bones, and then prices would go up from there, so.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep.
And second bid, Mega Construction. Project bid original is $116,101.44. That's $116,101.44. They would like to exercise the sponsorship and naming rights, for a cost, they'll deduct $11,101.44 for an ending cost of $105,000. I didn't see anybody from Mega here, but let me see if we got some information. I think we got schematic, 50 by 100. I just wanna look at that. Uniframe. Mega Construction proposes to deliver, furnish, and erect to the industry standards the described building, the following. Drawing. 28 gauge. You have to delve into this a little more, I think.
Who would anticipate that?
I thought maybe Kurt would be here to talk. It's Kurt Presler with them, so I might just see if there's otherwise. But you have the cost and there is a checklist. Oh, there is another one, okay. I was like, is this just your packet? Is there more? Looks like we got two more here. If you wanna pass those back, I'll put them in here and make copies for you guys, just so I don't get them mixed up. So third one, it looks like is North Central Field Systems. Project bid is $128,372, $128,372. They do not want to exercise the naming rights or sponsorship option, so it will stay at that, $128,372. And there is a bid bond. And not a lot of specs with it, so there again, probably do a call and just kind of see what their vision is. Obviously, it's a steel building, but there's more specifics there too. And the fourth one is it JH Construction. And we got a picture. And cashier's check. And we've got a project bid of $112,800. They would like to take advantage of the naming rights sponsorship for $10,000, which would bring it down to $102,800. And they just had a note here, if we want insulation on the overhead door, we'd add $2,000 to that. They'll have an opener, both of them we put specs for automatic openers, but all the electrical will be done in a separate project. Pole style construction, 8 foot on center rafters, 4 foot on center, 2x4s, roof purlin, 2x6 wall purlins, metal clad exterior doors, all framework to be fastened by lag screws and ring shank pole bar nails for additional wind strength. If you wanna look at that. Well, 4 bids is good. We're
Yeah.
excited anytime we get more than 1 or 2. So, if you guys are okay with it, I'd like to defer it 1 week and just make calls to the folks who put in the proposals and make sure we know what we're getting.
Oh, second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dennis, to defer decision on Small Animal Barn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
And I got your number. We'll call ya.
Thanks.
I'll grab that one.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thank
Stay
you.
warm.
Next up, you've got camping procedures for 2025.
Yeah, so Fair Board had their updated, this has become more and more important since we have 500-600 people on our waiting list of how exactly you handle that beast of a task of making sure that we're making the most of the campsites that are out there, allowing new folks to get in, but yet, allowing those that have been there for years and years to retain their spot. So this was passed about originally 2 years ago, and the only update that was made to it is number 10. Campsites that sit empty without a camp or tent or means of overnight accommodations for 2 years without notice to the fair office will be revoked. However, lessee may exercise the transfer option. Merely parking a vehicle in the site does not constitute overnight accommodations. This was not decided unanimously. It was a tough thing for the board, but basically what it's saying is sometimes you go out there and nobody uses the campsite all week except to park a vehicle. Well, with 600 people on the waiting list, a number of the board members thought it was kind of goofy to do that, and we are taking the time to have a volunteer go track how many people, which sites are empty for the week. So it's not like you're getting kicked out automatically. If you call the fair office, hey, I got a wedding this year, I'm not going to make it, you're still going to pay for your site to keep it, but we can re-rent it to somebody else. But these are the folks who are not gone, they might just be using it for parking, or they're not telling us. So the fair board thought that was a good update to the camping protocols, and they do this every year. They'll read through this just to make sure the entire board is lockstep and barrel in the same mindset. And like little things like this, they're not always, but it's what they passed this year, and we just like to make the update to you guys too. So I don't know if you need to approve it, or if you just want it, how they're doing things as kind of a policy, completely up to you.
I would suggest we acknowledge that we're gonna do that. Now, that doesn't jeopardize the handful of places where we have little communities that get set up and use several camping spots.
As long as they have the person that's on the lease with some overnight accommodation, it doesn't mean you can't move it a little bit, like if they're doing
Sure.
news and whatever.
Yeah.
But it does say you have to have somebody in there. And there are, I think Mackenzie said 6 this year who we've tracked for 2 years. So this will be the first time they receive a letter saying, hey, you're not using the site except for maybe parking, so you're either gonna give it up, or you can use the transfer option. It's something we put in there a few years back, so they can give it to an immediate family member to use, which we thought was kind of a good compromise. At least they can, they
The
have.
flip side of that is if you have people on a waiting list and they don't get an opportunity and then they see empty spots, they're like, who's managing?
Yeah, we hear it. We hear it.
So if somebody, like you said, the wedding thing, if someone calls them and says, hey, we're not gonna use this spot for the year, they can still pay to hold their spot, but then we'll rent it to somebody else as
Exactly.
well.
We
But
make
then,
a
the
note.
next year,
For the 1
next
year.
year, they're back in.
Mhm. Then I'd ask for a recognition motion then, is that what you were gonna?
Yeah, I would acknowledge the changes.
Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dinger to acknowledge the camping procedures for 2025. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That's a very reasonable change. Thanks for bringing it forward.
Absolutely. Then the second one is brand new. We've never had a golf cart policy at the fairgrounds. and we've
We
never-
know.
And we've never really wanted one, but there have been some close calls. And so this is not something we think we can totally police. And when we've talked with the sheriff's office, they're like, that's kind of your guys' call of how you're gonna handle that. There is a, 10-mile-an-hour restriction during fair week, 15 non-fair week. But these are things that we thought would just help us if there ever is an incident. It was in place, and folks will know about it when they check their camper contracts, because it's, and I don't think there's anything in here that's asking too much. You get some people that bring their golf carts out and they don't have headlights. Well, you probably shouldn't be driving after dark if you don't have headlights, and I just think it's a safety thing, so. Any questions on that policy?
The only question I have is, with the number of people that are, side-by-sides are becoming more popular, is that a separate policy, or would that be included in the golf cart policy?
That's a great question, and I think it should be probably included, but that's something I'll bring back to the board, because nobody brought that up. I'm thinking they assume this is everything, but that's a good point, so I will.
So we should maybe label it
Clarify that.
differently and, rather than just a golf cart policy.
Sure.
Side by side would be licensed, a road legal license though too. That would maybe fall under a vehicle more so than a golf cart.
Right, but people probably still think that, well, you know, I can go anywhere, kinda like they do with a golf cart. I was just wondering if it needed addressing,
Sure.
because my argument would be, I'm not driving a golf cart, you know, so.
And do some of them not license it and just pull it to the fairgrounds during the week too. Let me do some checking with the board, and maybe I'll bug Ross a little bit on that.
Sure. That's the only question I had.
Okay? Wait on that.
You want to acknowledge that as well?
Yeah, and if you need to make changes to it, you can bring it back, I know that.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage, to acknowledge the golf cart rules and regulations. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Fair contract.
We got 3 contracts before you. The first one, you guys it might look familiar. Maybe a month ago, we had already signed one for 19 with our cleaning crew. They do all the bathrooms and the trash, like, in the bathrooms. We did add the clubhouse to that, so that's why this is a revised version of it. For another $2,000, they'll do the week-long clubhouse, cleaning the floors, tending to the bathrooms, and we think that's well worth it, because that place is...
Gets dirty.
Especially since we're doing a lot more programming in there this year. You know, we're gonna flip it from a beer garden Friday night to baby crawling Saturday morning to beanbags that afternoon. I think there's gonna be a lot more traffic going in there too.
Sure.
I'll move that. Second.
Motion by Denner, second by Weiss, to approve the revised home clean home, contract. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The next one is the Hub City Radio contract. This is a huge partnership for us, as you'll see in the packet. It's not just us giving them that much money. They turn around and give us 15 back. So in essence, it's 2,000 more we're giving them than what they're giving us back in an exchange, so to speak. They also do quite a bit of promo and some T-shirts for us and different things. So we're pretty excited to have them as a partner, and would ask your approval on that sponsorship contract.
Motion by Gage.
Second.
Second by Dinger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And then the final contract that exceeded the 5,000 to bring to you, full recommendation from the Fair Board, is the Lizzie Hofer Band. She's gonna do 2 nights in the clubhouse, as well as 2 days in the climate control tent. So we're trying to maximize our budget a little bit by using her in both. And her and the band assured me that, you know, that her voice can totally handle it, that she's used to doing that, and she's very popular in the community. We think it'll be great. So that'd be $8,000 for the Lizzie Hofer Band for those sets.
All right. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Denner, second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The last 2 things, just update side of things, we are getting 3 quotes for the Richmond windows in that 4th dormitory. I'd sent some pictures out, and I'll send it to the rest of the board too, that we had started about 4 or 5 years ago replacing some windows. They're pretty rotted out, and you'll see by the picture, but instead of doing a re-roofing we had originally budgeted for last May, there's no leaks showing, so we're hoping to flex that money to finish doing windows in the 3rd dorm and kind of picking away out there too. I'm waiting, like I said, for the one more quote, but it should be in that $17,000 to $18,000 range, and we had budgeted $15,000 for a new roof, so we'll find the rest of the budget somewhere. Unless you guys have any issues, that's our game plan. The second thing was, we did have another sprinkler issue in the expo. This is the second, 6 weeks into the year. The first one was about $2,600 to repair, and I think this one's gonna be all of that plus. So just on our radar, getting prices and stuff to repair that. I mean, we're gonna just have to replace it. It looks like there is one branch of the system that was replaced maybe 5 to 10 years ago, and they said that could probably remain, but the rest of it is just, it's ugly, so.
So it's the piping?
The piping and the compressor and the, like, yeah, pretty
Okay.
much everything. So I'll bring you those quotes when I get them, and if we can If we can eke it along the rest of the year and do it in '26, we will, but if we see another repair, I just think we're gonna have to bite the bullet.
Get her done.
Yeah, money ahead if we start to at least do part of it, and maybe do the rest of it next year if they can do it in 2 phases, so. Other than that, do you guys have any questions for me?
Always something.
Yeah, right. All right, I will, make copies of these, get them to you, and we'll be back next week with a, recommendation.
All right, sounds great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Rachel.
We got 300 paper clips there.
I know. That's what it's for.
Patricia, prior to you getting here, I announced that we were gonna postpone your decision.
Yeah, I'd like to table the resolution. So I have a chance to talk to my foundation board, which we're meeting tonight on, the next 2 Tuesdays actually we'll be meeting. But I feel that I can't speak for them, so I'm sure that they're gonna wanna do a little more discussion.
We'll postpone that decision.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be great.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the consent calendar. Lynn?
Approval of the general meeting minutes of February 11th.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss to approve the minutes. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims.
Move.
Second. Motion by Denner, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Landfill tonnage report.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claim assignments.
Move. Second.
By Gage, second by Denner. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Abatements.
Move. Second. Motion by Weiss, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Auditor's report of accounts for December of '24.
Move.
Second. Motion by Denner, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Travel request.
Move.
Motion by Gage. Second. Second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lease agreements.
Move.
Motion by Weiss.
Second.
Second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And authorize chairman to sign the commitment letter for FEMA hazard mitigation.
Move. Second.
Motion by Denner, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? We'll need to go into exec to discuss, contracts and personnel.
Move.
Motion by Weiss. Second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are in exec.
Thanks for coming.
Light is back on. We're back in session, out of exec, with no action as a result. Is there anything else to come before the Brown County Commission this morning?
Motion adjourned.
Motion by Weiss, second by Denner to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.